The bombs fell, silence. Then a terrifying new reality. Paper, that ubiquitous backdrop of our lives, vanished. Gone. Not just scarce, but extinct. Factories lay in ruins, forests decimated by firestorms. We never considered a world without white. Paper, the silent witness to our thoughts, our history, our very civilization, was gone. Shops, once overflowing with books and notebooks, stood empty. Schools, their walls stripped bare, echoed with the ghosts of lessons past. The loss was visceral. Like a phantom limb, we reached for paper that wasn't there. The smooth caress of a page, the satisfying scratch of a pencil, the comforting weight of a book in our hands, all gone. We were adrift, unmoored from our past, our present, and our future. Children, their minds eager for knowledge, stared blankly at empty desks. Teachers, their voices strained with helplessness, struggled to impart lessons. How do you teach history without textbooks, without maps, without the tangible evidence of the past? Science, once a world of meticulous notes and detailed diagrams, became a hazy oral tradition. Math, stripped of its equations and proofs, felt abstract and unreachable. The very foundation of education, built on the written word, crumbled. The younger generation, never knowing the feel of paper, adapted. They drew on the ground, on walls, on their own skin. Their world became one of impermanence, where knowledge, like whispers in the wind, was easily lost. Communication, once a symphony of rustling paper, fell silent. Letters, postcards, telegrams, relics of a bygone era. The news, once a daily ritual of ink-stained fingers, arrived in sporadic broadcasts, unreliable and incomplete. We turned to whispers, to rumors, to stories passed from mouth to ear. A game of telephone on a global scale, distorting facts, fueling paranoia. Misunderstandings flourished in the absence of written clarity. Contracts, agreements, legal documents, all gone. Trust, once guaranteed by a signature on a piece of paper, became a luxury few could afford. We were thrust back into a world of oral agreements, vulnerable to deceit and betrayal. Libraries, once repositories of human knowledge, stood as hollow monuments to our loss. Archives filled with the echoes of forgotten voices were reduced to ashes. History, once meticulously documented, became a tapestry of fading memories and fragmented narratives. We yearned for the stories of our ancestors, for the wisdom of the past. But the paper, that fragile thread connecting us to our history, had snapped. We were a generation of amnesiacs, our past erased, our future uncertain. The loss went beyond facts and figures. It was the loss of the tangible evidence of our existence. Photographs, letters, diaries, all gone. We were left with a void, a gaping hole in our collective memory. Section 5, the digital divide. The fortunate few with access to surviving technology retreated into the digital world. Screens became our lifelines, connecting us to a semblance of normalcy. Emails replaced letters, e-books replaced paperbacks, and online forums became our new public squares. But the digital world was a luxury many couldn't afford. The digital divide, once a socio-economic issue, became a chasm separating the haves from the have-nots. The old, the poor, those living in remote areas, they were left behind, stranded in a world without words. The digital world, for all its advantages, could not replace the tactile experience of paper. The feel of a book in your hands, the smell of old parchment, the rustle of turning pages. These were sensory experiences that technology could only imitate, not replicate. Section 6. Aching for the tangible. The absence of paper manifested in unexpected ways. Artists, starved for canvases, turned to driftwood and scrap metal. Musicians, their sheet music gone, played from memory, their melodies tinged with a haunting nostalgia. We craved the feel of pen on paper, the act of physically shaping our thoughts. We longed for the permanence of the written word, for the reassurance that our stories would outlive us. Children, their imaginations stifled by the limitations of the digital world, yearned for the freedom of blank pages. They dreamed of coloring books and paper airplanes, their innocent desires a poignant reminder of all that we had lost. Section 7, the green shoot of adaptation. Slowly, painfully, we began to adapt. We rediscovered the ancient art of storytelling, gathering around flickering fires, our voices weaving tales of survival and loss. We carved symbols into wood, etched messages on stone, desperate to leave our mark on the world. We learned to value the spoken word, to listen with our hearts as well as our ears. The art of conversation, once relegated to dinner tables and coffee shops, experienced a renaissance. We rediscovered the power of human connection, the solace of shared stories. Necessity, the mother of invention, forced us to innovate. We experimented with sustainable alternatives, with plant-based materials, with recycled fibers. The quest for a new paper became a global endeavor, a testament to human resilience. Section 8, the price of progress. The environmental impact of our paper consumption, once a whisper in the background, became a deafening roar. We saw, with terrifying clarity, the price of our progress. The denuded forests, the polluted waterways, the mountains of waste, a sobering reminder of our unsustainable ways. The war, for all its horrors, had forced us to confront our own mortality, the fragility of our planet. It had shown us with brutal honesty the consequences of our actions. We learned to consume less, to waste less, to appreciate the interconnectedness of all things. The war, a tragedy in so many ways, had inadvertently sparked an environmental awakening. Section 9. A new chapter. The world without paper is a different world. Quieter, more deliberate, more connected to the natural world. We carry the scars of loss, the ache of what we've left behind. But we also carry the seeds of something new. We are learning to live in harmony with our planet, to value sustainability over convenience. We are rediscovering the power of human connection, the importance of community, the enduring strength of the human spirit. The end of paper, though born of tragedy, has forced us to rewrite our story. We are writing a new chapter, one etched not in ink, but in the very fabric of our being, a chapter of resilience, adaptation, and hope.